The light's not too bad.
We are now live. Everyone's going to start tuning in here. We'll give it a second to let everyone tune in. We had a bunch of people waiting in the lobby. Got my good friend Bennett Gooch here. Bennett, how you doing today?
We're doing great. Been up here for a couple days pre-shooting a bunch of stuff. So we're excited to talk about that to you guys today.
Yeah, we got our little podcast set up here in the race shop. We got the sprint car here behind me, and I got the live chat, and Bennett has the live chat pulled up on our phone. So we're going to be able to answer questions and talk about a bunch of different topics here in today's live stream. Like I said, though, thank you so much to everyone that's been tuning in. We'll keep giving it a little bit more time as more people are going to jump in this live stream. But real quickly, one of the main things that we're going to talk about before we start answering questions is our new podcast. I feel like I've given some details, but I also haven't given a lot and talked about what we've been doing the past couple of days. And one of the main ones is we've been pre-shooting episodes. So the first podcast of Off the Track with Tanner Holmes and Bennett Gooch is going to be going live on January 20th. So that's a Wednesday. Every Wednesday we'll have a new episode out. And that's like the coolest thing is you guys will kind of continuously get to see content from us on that, as well as like having a bunch of YouTube videos up all the time. So it's just going to be another great addition to the YouTube channel. And we are extremely looking forward to that and everything that that's going to bring. So talk about maybe the first episode, how it went. And then we actually have shot two. We had one guest and we had one without a guest, but talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, the first episode was pretty cool. We described what the meaning of Off the Track meant to us, which is if we can tell the people on here actually
just quickly.
So when Tanner's shooting all these videos for the 4 years you've done it now, right? Four and a half. You guys only see a brief little bit of on the track racing action, but there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in our lives. Like days before speed weeks, we're just up here having fun, working on stuff, and we've got a ton of stories to share with you guys. And that's what the whole podcast is about, to be able to talk about topics and share stories.
Absolutely. Talk about more and expand on the vlog, because as you guys know, the vlog, yes, it's 12 to 15 minutes, maybe a little less, sometimes a little bit more. But real quickly, the vlog comes and goes, and a podcast is a nice long form of content where we're going to be able to really touch on certain topics and deep dive into them. So that's what I'm looking forward to most. Want to give a shout out to everyone here in the live chat today. I see a bunch of you guys tuning in. We do have it on a little bit of a slow mode, just so it doesn't get spammed too much, especially when we're doing questions. It'll make it much easier for Bennett and I to read them, and we'll be able to touch on and really get everyone's question answered. But like I said, we appreciate everyone tuning in. If there's one thing you can do in the live chat right now, go down there and put where you're watching from. We want to hear where you're from. Maybe you're out of the country. Maybe you're here in the States.
I think we have a few people from New Zealand already.
Yeah, I saw a few New Zealand in the chat. I see a few channel members here in the chat, but we'd love to hear if you're from the States. Maybe you're from up north of the States, our Canadian friends, or you're maybe from down under. We would also love to hear. Let's check it out. We got Wisconsin, Illinois, Idaho,
Oklahoma,
Ohio, Oklahoma, Virginia. We got our good friends here in Oregon,
Indiana,
major
sprint car state,
North Carolina, Colorado, Charlotte, North Carolina,
Kentucky,
San Carlos, California, Arkansas, South Carolina, Washington. Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day, and definitely make sure to share this live stream with your friends, as we're going to be live here for probably over an hour, just hanging out with you and talking about certain topics. So we touched on the podcast there a little bit. Like I said, stay tuned for Off the Track. There's going to be a video version here on the YouTube channel every Wednesday at 3:30. And then we're also going to have an audio version over on, I believe, Spotify. We're going to do Spotify
and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, right? Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're going to definitely touch on the popular podcast platforms and make sure that you guys that like to listen to audio, even though we're more video people, we like the video version.
That's the cool part. So like I mentioned in the first podcast, if you travel to race, so for me, traveling to the nearest track for the dwarf cars is probably about an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to be able to listen to the podcast, or if you're at home chilling, you got nothing better to do,
might as well listen.
Go watch and listen. So
absolutely.
Two options for you.
Absolutely. So whatever is in your best interest of how you want to listen to it. And then also we're going to have be uploading clips to my second channel and Bennett's YouTube channel. So like snippets, certain segments. If there's a particular story that's 4 or 5 minutes long, that will be over there, and all that good stuff. The other thing that we wanted to mention here real quick before we get into some live Q&A is stay tuned over these next couple of days. I'm not lying. I can't say anything like this is going to sound like an announcement about an announcement. I never want to do that. But over these next couple of days, we are going to have some things that are going to kind of be from out of nowhere. And I'm trying to make it not out of nowhere. So that's why I mention it here on the live stream. So if you guys are here, we have 108 people watching. So you guys are you're going to be the first ones to hear about all that, and just stay tuned. When I post some videos this week, you're going to want to get the news as fast as possible, because we got some exciting things.
It's going to be, I guess you could just say new ventures.
It's going to be, yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Going into this year, we're going to have a lot of fun things. Obviously the podcast, and then this other thing we can say is going to pop up, and you guys are going to want to follow along over the next couple of weeks with our race team in general. So that's going to be exciting. And as you noticed, we do have the sprint car here in the background, which is pretty much ready to rip. We have to just drop a motor in it, but as far as being a roller, it's good to go. And we just have a few small things to finish up. Other than that, though, we're pretty far ahead on schedule this year.
Yeah, no, like you're talking about the sprint car program, just a few things ago, my Dwarf car stuff, we only got, we got a few things to do on the car. And then I think we're just going to see what's going to run first in the year, and we're going to go hit some races.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So real quick, before we drop into a live Q&A, I did want to say to all you racers watching, Bennett and I have been pumped to say this. We've been saying it last couple of videos. We really wanted to get it out there. If you guys have racing merchandise, just like what I'm wearing right here, racing hats, racing hoodies, koozies, whatever you got, if you literally send them to us, I'll put a link to our P.O. box where you can send everything in the description down below. It's there right now. Head on down there and check it out. Send us all you got. We would love to rep it in the podcast, in the videos. Like, just send it to us. We'll wear it,
Yeah, I remember, if you guys are, a long time following of the channel, we did this deal with someone a long time ago to get their merch, and I wear that shirt all the time.
Yeah.
So now if you guys send us your merch, I'd love to rep it in the podcast. I know Tanner would love to, on and off the camera. We love racing, and we love racing merch, and everything's unique, and it'll be fun and cool to wear.
Absolutely. Real quickly, want to give a shout out to Ash Ridge. He became a channel member. Thank you so much. All of our channel members here on the YouTube channel, that supports us and helps us go racing. So thank you so much for joining that. It unlocks exclusive content, and you guys kind of get the scoop a little bit before everyone else as we post exclusive content on a weekly basis. So definitely check that out if that's in your interest. Yeah. Anyway, definitely start sending in questions. I got my phone. Bennett has his phone. We're on the live chat, and I've already seen some people have been hopping in.
There's a cool question I already.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it.
So someone asked, it was way up there, I don't know specifically who it was, but they asked, who's your favorite sprint car driver? If you follow my TikTok, you already know Corey Eliason, number 26. Kind of bummed he's not going to be in the Rudine Racing car next year, but
he has something going on.
Yeah, he I don't know if he is or not, but he's got something in the works. But Corey Eliason's mine, definitely for
and that's another good thing on that topic. Drop who your favorite sprint car driver is in the live chat. My favorite, it's tough. I kind of bounce around a lot, and there's just different people I like to root for on a nightly basis, kind of like depending on who the underdog is. Like, I love to see who the underdog is that night and root for them. But a guy I always find myself rooting for is Sheldon Hodenshield. He's a ripper. He's one of the guys he's worth the price of admission. I mean, if you're in the stands, you would definitely love to watch him. I saw someone asked, how do I decide the colors for our race cars? Well, obviously we like to change things up, and obviously this year we're blue, but there's a lot of things that go into it. One of them is sponsors. So depending on who your sponsor is, that plays a big factor. And I know that's not obviously my choice sometimes, but that's just how it is. And if you have people behind you, you obviously want to do what you can to please them. So if they're blue and they want to be blue, we're going to go blue, and we're going to make that happen. But I'm really happy with our colors this year, and I think it's going to flow. My good friend Kobe Stidham at CS Designs did a killer job on the design for the car, and it's looking really good.
Someone asked, where'd you come up with the 18T?
Oh, this is a good one. I've answered it a few times in like my first Q&A, but I'm going to answer it here because I don't want you to go watch my first couple Q&As. No, I came up with the 18T. Obviously, the T is for Tanner, but the 18 is for Kyle Busch. Big Kyle Busch fan. Love Rowdy. Have my whole life. Been a huge follower of him, and followed him through his ups and downs and everything, he's went through, but he's a heck of a race car driver, and he's someone that I definitely want to continue to follow along with. So, hopefully he can get back, and, he had a little bit of a rough cup season this last year, but hopefully NASCAR kind of gets back to normal and we'll be back to tuning in.
It's cool to see he's continuing that streak of winning every single year. I don't remember the specific how long it is.
It's been a while.
It's a long, yeah.
Someone asked a good one here from Ryan. This is a question for both you guys. If you could race any car, dirt or asphalt, what would you race? And I think we talked about this like I was editing and you were just like, hey, just out of nowhere, we talked a little bit about this. And one of Bennett and I's favorite things is the Baja 1000. Like, absolutely, we want to run the Baja 1000, whatever division. So we're kind of into like the off-road racing and all that.
It's just cool. Like the Baja 1000, not necessarily the pro trophy trucks you get to race, but the spirit and the event around it is just, it's kind of like the Chili Bowl. You know how the Chili Bowl is not just a race, but it's, the whole week, the whole, just the whole venue and how it all works out. Well, that's just how the Baja 1000 is. And the teams, it's not necessarily just a race. It's a whole journey every year for them. And I think that would be one of the coolest things we could compete in.
The Baja would be something that would be on the bucket list. So absolutely, maybe one day you guys will see us down there. Someone asked, Tanner, what's it like when you wreck? And this is kind of an interesting question for sure. Yeah. Wrecking is something that's really weird. And like, it just happens. Usually things happen so quick. Like by the time you're wrecking, like everything happens so fast that you just, all of a sudden you're just going for a ride or you're spun out. And so, for the most part, everything happens so fast. It's not like you have a moment to be like, oh no. It's just by the time it happens, you're stopped, you're flipped. And, for the most part, the flips don't take a long time, besides occasionally. So it sucks. Obviously, you never want to see wrecked race cars. We hate seeing torn up stuff, but it's just part of racing. So for the most part, it doesn't really hit either. And a lot of it also is how your body reacts. Like if you tense up or certain things along those lines. So I think obviously the more veteran drivers handle those better versus, younger guy. Like my first ever wreck when I was 5 years old, obviously it scared me more than ever before. Yeah. And but now when I wreck, it's not a scary thing. It's more just like, here we go, Yeah. One of those deals.
That's kind of funny for me. When I get wrecked, obviously if it's not too major and I'm not flipping and I'm not worried about if I'm hurt, my mind goes straight to, all right, who did it? Yeah. Who am I chasing down?
Who do we have to have a little chat with after the race?
Who did it? But no, that's funny.
Emma Davis said, and Emma was in the last live stream, I remember. She said, what's your number one accomplishment in racing, Ben? Probably my number one accomplishment probably has been winning a 360 race. That's really cool. But I think one of the biggest mountains to climb was winning an open race at Red Bluff, just because the history of that place, like how tough it was. And then also it being my rookie season and also my third race in the factory QRC house car. So like all the combos there and how that worked, like working with the new crew chief, obviously not racing my own stuff. That was a kind of a bigger deal for myself at 14, like how having to figure out how to race someone else's stuff. Like I would race my own stuff, but obviously not tear it up, like still be aggressive, still race hard. And so in our third race out, winning was like a big deal. That was really, really cool. So I think that was one that definitely that night in particular just sticks out, how everything fell into place and, we pulled away from the field and won.
Yeah. I think one of my, if I would label a big accomplishment, is a rookie points champion in the open class. Yeah. And because the cool thing about that is that's one of those awards you only have one shot in your entire life to get
rookie of the year. Like there's so many rookies. There's so many rookies moving up from the 250 class too. So like you guys are kind of all in a similar bracket where like everyone's battling it out for that spot. Yeah. And everyone's like trying to prove to be the best rookie and like race with the big dogs. So that's always cool every single year to follow along with who ends up winning that. 25R mini stock asked, if you come to New Zealand, will you try out our sprint cars? Yeah. So New Zealand or Australia is something that's on the radar. We're hoping to make it down there probably at the end of this next year. We're going to work hard to make some things happen. We're kind of in the works with a few things. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned with what ends up happening there. But like I said, I'm working really, really hard to, find an opportunity down there and be able to race down under and see all our great fans in the state, or not the states, I should say in the countries of Australia and New Zealand for sure. This question popped up a few times. They said, do you play sports? Yeah, so I don't play sports anymore. Bennett played sports throughout high school and middle school, right?
Yeah. So middle school, I just did basketball and like baseball. But high school, I did a swim team like freshman year all the way to senior year. And I went to masters all 4 years. And then track and field, I went to sections and high jump. So, when you're gifted with being 6'3", long legs, you get the ability to jump high.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily the best to fit in a small race car, but for jumping, it's good.
I played sports a few times. I did football, basketball, baseball. I was pretty good at a few of them. I was not as good as basketball, but I could catch and whatnot. But we had a few donations drop in the chat. James Finley said, hey, Tanner, how did you do last night? And then Dylan asked, will Carly have a paint scheme for the sprint car? I'm going to answer Dylan's first just because James's question we're gonna have to probably touch on for a couple minutes. Dylan said about Carly's paint scheme. Yes, Carly is the plan is for Carly to have another paint scheme. And we're working on getting it wrapped right now. One of my cars is already stickered. It's obviously not together behind us, but the plan is to, have Carly's car be stickered. So that'll be something that's exciting to show you. Thank you, Dylan, for dropping that donation. Mm-hmm. Now to answer James's question. Yeah, last night at Roseburg, you guys are going to see the vlog tomorrow. It just did not go good.
It's one of those nights, if you're a racer, sometimes you unload out of the trailer and you're fast right off the get-go. You feel comfortable.
Feel good.
And then there's some nights where, as the crew chief role I was in and Tanner's driving, it felt like we're just beating around the bush with the setup. Yeah. Like you weren't feeling the best you could feel, but it wasn't terrible. So it's like, we just couldn't get there.
It was just one of those nights where, also there was 25 cars, so a great car count, and there were some faster guys from down south. So it wasn't like, we ended up running fourth. It wasn't like, we lost to guys that, guys that we absolutely should be beating. Don't get me wrong. Every time we go to Roseburg, no matter who's there, we expect to win just because, we're used to running with the best. But last night, so hot lapped, we were in group 4 or heat 4. We ended up going 5th to 2nd in the first heat and 2 to 1 in the next heat. So we started front row outside, but things just didn't really go our way. I didn't get the greatest start, but the biggest thing we noticed was, Bennett talked a little bit about setup. I kind of not disagree. Like I think Bennett and my dad did a great job. I think our setup was good. We were chasing it a little bit, but the biggest thing is something's not right with our engine, and it's 100%. I'll take 100% blame. We did a few things and we've had some issues lately that we don't run that car a lot. So we probably don't put, I don't want to say the effort, but it's just one of those things. It's not a priority in the sense it kind of just sits over in the corner. And when we go race it, like at Roseburg, we just go race it. And so that's just kind of how it is. I mainly run for factory QRC. So that's like obviously the priority of our Outlaw kart racing. And especially with Roseburg being so up in the air, we've been focusing on the sprint car and getting it ready. But anyway, to answer your question, I ran second most of the race. And then on a restart, I made a mistake. I wasn't paying attention like I should have. Bennett was trying to tell me to restart on the bottom. I decided to restart on the top, and I just was in a bad spot and got blocked. And then Carly kind of gassed it up on the start. And I don't know, I'd have to watch it back, but she got ahead of me. So I was in third because Carly came through the field. And then we went down to the next corner and she either got hooked or half spun, but no matter what, her car got sideways and then it sent me back to fifth, and then she wrecked as well. So both of us homes just got in a bad spot, but I don't know. It's just part of racing. Those nights are what are going to make you better, and kind of a wake up call. All right, we need to get our program better to be able to beat these guys. We can't just kind of be doing what we're doing. Yeah. So I think we're going to pull that engine off, get it back to the engine builder, but something's wrong with it. It's flat. It doesn't take off. It doesn't have the acceleration that you need to be able to beat guys that are really, really fast. So you're going to hear that all in the Roseburg vlog, and it's pretty real and kind of our night. But, like I said, applaud Bennett and my dad. I mean, we literally, for what we had as far as tires, for example, we did not have the tires to make the right amount of stagger and everything. We're kind of just a rung what you brung deal when we go up north. So still a lot of fun, had a blast, but frustrating that it didn't really go how we wanted it to. So we're definitely going to work on getting our program better and, get back to where we need to be.
Zachary Rich asked me, why'd you stop racing Outlaw karts? That's actually a perfect question. Yeah. If you want to know why I stopped racing Outlaw karts, obviously it's because I got a dwarf car. But the whole story on that will be in the very first podcast episode, January 20th. So you're going to want to listen to that.
It's important because we don't want to really give anything away. But the story of Bennett's deal is hilarious. Yeah. So you guys I'm telling you, you got to listen. It is unique. Anyway,
it's real life. You can't make it up.
We can't spill it here, but it's pretty much what any dirt track racer would do. So, for sure. Definitely check that out. Someone asked, I just noticed this. Riley said, who's your favorite sponsor? Well, I'm going to not necessarily go, every sponsor on my race car is my favorite. I love everyone that helps me out. I was going to answer this in terms of what's a dream sponsor? If I could have a dream sponsor, and I think you guys need to drop in the chat who you think your dream sponsor would be. If I could have anyone, M&M's, if I could have In-N-Out sponsoring me, Chick-fil-A, any of these companies, if they were on board, I would be absolutely stoked. Things that I actually really enjoy, Gatorade, the list goes on. But for me, that would be awesome. So definitely would love to get that. I seen someone, Outdoor Racer, ask the question. It just isn't going in the chat, but he said, Tanner and Bennett, what's your favorite iRacing track?
Ooh, that's a good one. So are we dirt, obviously. Yeah, dirt. I don't know. There's each one has characteristics.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna go with USA.
Yeah.
Because it's long. And a lot of people, when it goes slick, run the top.
Yeah.
You can actually putt the bottom so much faster. And a lot of people in like official races, at least, they don't do that. So I just put the wing all the way forward and putt the bottom. And a lot of people are trunked, rolling the top in the grip, but that's fast too. But
absolutely,
I like that.
No, for sure. So definitely USA for myself. I would say Lanier. It's funny. I just seen Flow Racing jumped in the chat. He said not Lanier, but no, Lanier's fun. It's kind of like they like to say it's the vanilla track of iRacing, but Cedar Lake's been a blast lately. I've been enjoying running that. I know a lot of people have. The big blocks are fun. The big blocks are a blast. So maybe after this we'll go and throw up a server. But with Flow Racing jumping in the chat, I did want to say I know a lot of you guys have been asking about Chili Bowl. Unfortunately, I'm not running the Chili Bowl this year. We were thinking about it, but we decided, it's probably best to wait till it's kind of a normal year. We can have as many people as possible. We can meet as many fans, sell merchandise, do all that.
We want the full experience.
Exactly. And with that being said, I actually because I knew people would be asking, I put a link at the top of the description. If you guys want to watch the Chili Bowl, I put a link to Flow Racing. So you guys can go there, and not only by buying a subscription to Flow Racing do you get the Chili Bowl, you literally get all year. So you're going to get the chance, if you want to follow along with all the races that we're going to be at, because throughout the season, we're going to go and run with ASCS a bunch. Flow Racing covers that. And so that's definitely worth it in checking that out. So anyway, like I said, top of the description for sure.
Yeah, Flow Racing will also cover, I think, Marysville Wednesday night.
And you can watch Wednesday night
Bennett or something like that. Yeah, you'll be watching the Dwarf Cars at Marysville.
Bennett's going to be absolutely throwing doors at Marysville and all the other tracks.
I'm coming for a track championship and a rookie champion all in the same year.
Absolutely. FaZe asked, have you ever raced at Caney Valley? So no, I take that back. I have ran at Caney Valley one time. It was a fun experience. It was a nicer bull ring track, smooth, wasn't rough, but it was unique. So I would like to get back there, and I need to get better at the bull ring tracks anyway. So, but really, really fun to experience that place, and a fairly nice facility, great pit area, a little tight, but when we were there, I think we had like 40 cars. So it was awesome. There's a good amount of sprint cars in that area.
Flo mentioned Tanner Holmes 2022 driller winner. Maybe a micro shoot, maybe a shootout.
Tulsa
winner?
Shootout. I need to find a micro. If I could just run someone's micro at a local show, I'd be stoked. Like I just want to run a micro.
I want to run a non-wing shootout.
I would. That would be fun for me as well, just to like get to take the wings off. I've never taken the wings off before. Only one time in the Outlaw cart, but Outlaw carts aren't really meant to run wingless. And they run wingless? No, they don't run much. So 2022, man. If you guys are that confident, man, maybe we'll see.
Hero card.
Yeah.
The shootout and Chili Bowl.
Laney asked, have you ever raced in Tulsa, Oklahoma? I've been in the Oklahoma area, but I've never raced specifically in Tulsa. We've ran Creek County, which I can't remember exactly what city that's in, but that's in Oklahoma. So that was a lot of fun. Always exciting to get to go to that area, because I know how big racing is compared to like Oregon. 99% of the people in the state of Oregon don't even probably know what sprint car racing is. And I know at least as you get more to the Midwest, it's a little bit more popular. And then when you get to the PA area, it's obviously massive. So Aaron asked, have you ever ran any tracks in Pennsylvania? I have not ran any tracks in Pennsylvania. Another place I really want to get to. But like I said, sprint car racing's so big there. They run so much during the week. But in order to do that, we probably would need to get a 410 for sure, just to run Williams Grove, Lincoln, Sillins Grove, Port Royal. Grandview runs a few times, but we'll make it happen here soon, guys.
Harley Berry asked, pretty good question. Who's your pick for the Chili Bowl?
Oh, man. I feel like I need to say Tanner Thorson because I'm wearing his shirt, but I think Thorson will be good. Reitzel will be good. I filled out all my Chili Bowl picks, so that's one of the main reasons. Like I said, I'm going to be literally every second of the live, because obviously I'm going to be home here in Southern Oregon. I'm going to be tuned in because I filled out 4 Chili Bowl pools. Filled out 4 Chili Bowl pools. We're spending some money this year. We're trying to win some money back, but the people I had picked, obviously you can't bet against Larson. I picked Bell in one of them. Let's see, who are some other guys? We got, I think, Reitzel, Thorson. I had Facinto.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of names, but if I had to pick one specific person, I wouldn't bet against Kyle Larson. There's no way. After the year he had, there's no way he's not winning a driller.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say Buddy Kofoid's gonna get it done.
And that's another person it's hard to bet against, because he was,
first solid in the second half.
Yeah, last year I don't know where he ran, but
series.
I think he came from like the back last year. Like he was flying. So
yeah, and Buddy's really advanced in the midget this whole last season.
Got more seat time.
Yeah.
No, he's been really good. Won some national races, and like I said, it's hard to bet against KKM cars too. But there's so many super teams this year. Everyone kind of now has the same equipment. Now it's just down to driver and getting the setup dialed in. So drop your chili bowl picks in the chat. We'd love to hear. Maybe you have some underdogs that you think might win. I'm always rooting for underdogs. I love to see a cool story. And I know we've had some people from the Northern California area getting some good rides. Like, for example, last year, a friend of mine, Kobe Copeland, locked into the show. It's cool to see that emotion and see all that really go down for sure. Marcus asked 2021 Knoxville 360 Nationals. That's a possibility. We're trying to get to Knoxville. So cool to run. I think we're going to at least run some weekly stuff at Knoxville this next year when we're in the area to try to get some laps. And then you might see us possibly, at 360 Nationals for sure.
What's a track you're really excited to go to someday?
A track that I want to get to, Port Royal. Port
Royal's real cool.
I-55.
Yeah.
Man, what else? I mean,
I'd imagine you touched in the first podcast about dirty air. You think Port Royal would be?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some dirty air, but like once you get going so quick, especially I feel like in a 410, obviously never ran one, but with wing speed and you can run so many different lines. Because I know at least when I ran a 360 at Lakeside, we were going so fast that like when the car turned into the corner, like you could miss your mark a little bit, but like didn't upset the car. It wasn't as fast, but just dealing with like wing speed and figuring out the downforce and all that, it's pretty interesting on the big tracks.
Yeah.
I saw a really interesting question here. What would be the biggest setback of your racing career? And the flip side, what are the advantages for you guys in your racing career? Setback, that's hard. I wouldn't say I really had a lot, like a big setback for myself. Maybe early on in when I first started, when I broke both my arms, because obviously that set me out for a couple months, but I haven't really had something that's set me out of racing. If anything, setbacks are, I can remember like in 250s at Red Bluff, I had one really bad season. Like I did 6 races. I won 3 of the 6 races. And then after that, it went down the drain. That was actually the year we all battled for a championship. Bennett was in that class that year. But like my last half, I would be going up front and wreck, or I'd catch a Lego block, like things like that. So when your confidence gets down, that's a huge thing. So I would say that's a setback, but nothing major where like, something went catastrophic wrong or something.
I don't think I necessarily had any like major setbacks, but senior year of high school, I put off racing just for like finishing sports, because at the same time you only get to play high school sports for 4 years out of your life, and racing is always going to be around. At least for me, I'm always going to have it around. So
absolutely, no, that makes sense for sure. So we had some people drop in the chat who they thought we had. Carver, Mitchell Moles off a driller. He'll be really good at the shootout or at the Chili Bowl.
Would you ever try Asphalt?
I would love to try Asphalt. I think it'd be fun to I want to try different forms of racing. I think it's cool to see everyone's perspective on like why they enjoy the sports that they do or the forms of racing that they do. So Asphalt would be fun. There's so many other ones that would be a blast to try, but we'll get there for sure. Like, for example, it'd be fun this year to run a late model. If I had the chance to hop in a late model and run, would be awesome. Mason's been asking this, how much money does it cost to race a sprint car? And I can't give you an exact dollar amount, but man, it costs a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say it's...
Yeah, one of the keys to running a big car like that, partnerships.
Yeah,
you got to build your
people behind you. Having good people behind you. And like, that's one thing you have to listen to the podcast. Bennett really touches on, I think it's the second one we did with Carly. Talking about being a salesman, like that's a huge deal. And so it'll be quite interesting to see. Like I said, a lot of you guys got to try that out. Definitely, especially during the off season, the right months. During November's a good time. October's a good time. September, as you kind of get into
kind of hairy because of the holidays.
Yeah, getting into the new year, it's a little bit tougher because a lot of companies already set their budgets and all that. But definitely do some research, look it up. I had to do that, and that's, if anything, that's my biggest, not weakness, but I feel like I have a lot of great things that a sponsor obviously would want or things like that, but I'm not good at putting it all in a letter, so I have to do the research to figure that out or some form of proposal. So like I said, you got to put some time and effort into that just as much as you would your race car or anything else.
And if I could give anyone a tip, obviously it's not easy if you're trying to reach out to corporate that's like maybe in a different state, if you're like going for it.
It's tough.
But if you can, local wise, in person's the way to go.
In person for
hand
sure.
delivery.
It could be scary.
Shake their hand. Yeah.
But also one thing I will say, like myself, I like, this is something that's so hilarious. I am like, I can't do phone calls. It's weird. Like, I can, but I'm really bad at phone calls. I don't know what it is, like talking to someone that I've never really like met before. But if I had to walk into their business and like say, what's up, drop a letter off or drop some form of proposal or have a meeting with them, I feel like I would be money. I'd be really good, but something about calling people freaks me out. I don't know what it is. So that's an interesting fact about myself. Jay said you should come race in Southwest Oklahoma. Like I said, we'll probably be in Oklahoma, another time during 2021 for sure. Carson asks, have you ever heard of Riverside Speedway? I think Riverside's on ASCS Speed Week this year, which is a track I'm stoked to get to. I would love to get to Riverside. I think it's in Arkansas, West Memphis. That place is nuts. It's really cool. It's really fast. And it's a unique, very, very unique racetrack. So really racy. Hopefully we'll be there. Hopefully meet a lot of Arkansas fans when we're there. Tyler Davis Racing. Tyler, always active on my social medias, comments on my Facebook. Shout out to him. He said, Wisconsin ? And I know Wisconsin's got quite a few dirt tracks as well. Maybe if we were to get let's say we're able to get a 410 or something. I think there's a lot of good IRA stuff up north there where they get a good car count and it's great laps just to, running that, and maybe some 360 stuff as well. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see for sure. Zachary said, are you ever going to stop racing Outlaw carts? Yeah. So I don't think I ever will, especially with my continued partnership with Factory QRC. The plan is to keep running. So we love what we do. QRC and we've been, I've been buddies with Jimmy forever, since he moved here to the West Coast. So really enjoy what we do. And I think, like I said, we're going to definitely continue working together until, so everything's going great there. We just got a $10 donation from So Fierce. He said, I can't believe I missed you racing at I-30 Speedway. That's my home track. Well, man, I got some good news for you. The plan is to be back there this next year. Thank you for dropping a donation, but yeah, I think we'll be back there is the plan. So it should be a lot of fun to get back to I-30. Hammer Hill, it's what it's called. Yeah. It's a tough track, man. These small bull rings are really, really hard to adjust to for sure, but we'll figure them out. The bigger tracks are a lot more comfortable, which that's another thing we talk about in our show, and we're going to definitely give a lot more insight on.
Someone asked me, so obviously I have the Nissan Sentra as a Hornet, and they asked where would I run if I could race it. There's two races. There's the 30-30 up in Banks, which is 30 laps forward, clockwise, and 30 laps reverse. Yeah. And then at Shasta Speedway, the way they run a Hornet is they put a barrel right at like maybe a car length off the wall. Yeah. And the leader has to run the top. So it's almost faster to like drive it in, hit the wall, and drive it off. Like Absolutely. In real life. And a lot of people do that on iRacing. It's like, I don't know if it's like cheating, and they don't like it, but in real life, Shasta Speedway, my local is track, which is like 10 minutes from my house. I would race the Hornet there and just absolutely beat the right side off of it on the wall.
Heck yeah, no, for sure. That would be a lot of fun. I know the 30-30 is something like that's on the bucket list because first time, I think it was our first time we ever went to Banks. First time we went to Banks, like we had some fans there and they were showing us all these Hornets that they had. And like, these things they're top of the line Hornets.
They're not bad, honestly.
Like they're pretty good. Yeah. And the racing was incredible. One of the people I saw jump in the chat was Cole Croft. What's up, Cole? Local Outlaw kart kid from Northern California. Andy asked, what was your favorite track when you ran ASCS Speed Week? Favorite track was probably 81 in Lakeside. Really hard to differentiate which one was better. Both were phenomenal surfaces, great people. Excited to have you there. Thank you for coming. Like polite that, they want you to come back. Like, and that's just, that's what every racetrack should really be, is that. So for sure, definitely want to get back to those two places. And one thing they're known for, pretty wide, pretty slick, which is our style of driving. I love that. Wolf and Racing said, will you be racing wingless sprint cars this year? I'm not sure. Maybe. I said I will run wingless if I can have one certain person helping me set up the race car or a couple people that know what they're doing.
I think I know who.
Depending on, or like I said, that know how to set up wingless, because it's a different ball game, and you can't just take a wing off a car and go out there, which is what some people do in Oregon. And to run wingless, they just take the car off and they send it back out there without a front wing, without a top wing, and it doesn't work. I can tell you that.
Wingless looks pretty cool. I think wingless is it's a little more dangerous, but it looks pretty fun.
Absolutely. I think it'd be a fun style to learn. Aiden jumped in the chat. He said, what's up? Thank you, Aiden, for stopping by. He's one of our channel members. Joe said, could you race Southern Raceway in Florida? Would like to get to Southern. I've seen a few highlight videos. I think USCS ran there a couple months ago. So we'd like to get racing with USCS. That's another cool series from down in the South. Maybe you will see us there. Christopher said, hi, Tanner, love your videos. Why do you start racing a video with racing flags? Oh, I see what you're saying. Starting a video with racing flags. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. I'll do that one of my next videos for sure.
Someone mentioned, have you raced the English Creek in the cart?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, they were talking about if
to.
you go to Knoxville, you should race English Creek.
Yeah, English Creek looks like a lot of fun. That place I hear, never been there obviously, but I heard, if you know the Big Sky Cartway, a track we talked about in the last video, is very similar to English Creek, but like English Creek's a little bit bigger. So I think that's one exciting thing that about that place. So maybe this next year we'll get there for sure.
Right.
Aiden said, should you race 34 Raceway? Yeah, I need to try out 34. That's in Burlington, right? Burlington, Iowa it is. Yeah, that's definitely one of the places where I've seen some pretty good racing and a lot of good highlight videos from. Zach says, if you come to Australia, what would you do? Well, if we came there, we'd race, but it would also be a good opportunity. Australia, New Zealand, all those places there. It'd be a fun opportunity. I mean, be an opportunity of a lifetime to come see another country. Like, I'm not the biggest traveler, like in the sense of
vacation wise,
out of racing. Yeah, like out of racing. And I honestly, like, I have desire to see the world, like see different parts of the world, but also like there's plenty of places where like if I don't go there, it'd probably be fine. Yeah. But Australia and New Zealand are places like, man, that'd be incredible, you know. Yeah. And like I said, I've been talking to some people from over in those areas, and things that we don't really have here in the States that we could do over there would be, fun. So you'll definitely see us, in the next couple of years over in those areas.
So this is kind of funny. Something that was maybe mentioned very early on in the YouTube channel. You mentioned at 100,000 subscribers, and Tanner's all for this. You want to go Shark Tank diving for a video? That would be absolutely crazy. And we could do that. Australia has huge great whites.
Yeah, Australia and New Zealand. So to give some context to that, really, so we talked about, like, man, if we ever did hit certain milestones,
and we set goals a long time ago. We had high, we still do.
Honestly, yeah, absolutely, we do. And so if we ever hit 100,000, we're doing it, because that was my goal. Some people want to go skydiving, some people want to do this, but like I've always loved like sharks. Like, sounds kind of dumb, but like cool. Shark Week, I always like a big watcher of Shark Week. I'll be on the couch all week watching, and I was like, man, if I ever can, I would love to like go diving. I'd love to get in a cage. Yeah. So if we ever hit 100K, it's happening. We'll vlog it. We'll do it. I already done research on where we can go and do it if we have to do it in the States, but it'd be a lot of fun. Nick Petruzzi, one of our channel members, says, you coming to California this year? There's a good chance you'll see us at a couple California tracks, maybe some of the bigger races, but
what about Gold Cup?
Yeah, I think Gold Cup would be on there possibly. That's a 410 race, but I know a lot of 360s run it. And then also, Trophy Cup is another one. So we'll have to just see. Like I said, I think 2020 is going to be interesting, or 2021 is going to be similar to 2020. I hate to say that, but I don't really see how it's going to be different. But we'll keep you guys updated once more schedules come out.
What about Silver Cup? Because if you run Silver Cup in the 360s, I would be running the Dwarf Car.
We could run both on the same night. That would be cool. We'll try to make that happen for sure
someday if they open her back up.
John said, what is your overall career plan or goal? Honestly, John, my ultimate goal, a lot of people want to make it to NASCAR. A lot of people want to get here or there, but I think like my ultimate goal would be actually either drive for a really good team where we could still like do everything we do. Like I said, I want to continue the podcast isn't just something I want to do for like a year and stop. Like, I want to continue to grow that, continue to grow the YouTube channel, like have really good you continue to have really good people behind me, and like, drive for someone really good, or own our own team, own our own team, have people that, support our own team, and just travel and race wherever we want, and maybe that's, not always sprint cars. Maybe that'd be midget or something else, or, go to New Zealand, do all these fun things. And I think the ultimate goal would be really turn it into a business and continue producing content. Hey, if I have to be 29 making YouTube videos, I don't care. We got to do what you got to do. So, but we love the social media thing so much. And I think social media is just getting started, and people don't even realize the power of it. So I think we're going to continue just to do that and try to own my own team and just go race wherever and have my buddies with me, and we'll make it happen, and make it work. So that's the ultimate goal.
That's something we mentioned in the podcast. Social media for us and for Tanner greatly is it's not even really a job. It's just a passion.
Yeah.
Like it's all it is.
In a way, obviously it's like a hustle, but it's like we love it so much that, we're not here necessarily even for like the rewards of it. Like, if there was no rewards really, we just had people tuning in or whatever, like we just love social. We just love making content and
we like
producing
putting stuff
things
out that you guys enjoy.
Absolutely. Any chance we can, even just like going live right now, like if you knew like how excited we were to do this live stream, like it's crazy. So anyway, Ryder asked, when is your birthday? June 11th. I'll be turning 18. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll be 18.
Lottery tickets. Yeah, that's about it.
We'll be 18. Aiden Green said, do you have plans of going to college? About that, that's funny. Bennett was at the dinner table a couple of nights ago, and we were talking about how I need to stop doing my college classes. But I don't recommend that everyone doesn't go to college. I personally don't want to go. There's a whole list of things we could talk about, but yeah, pretty much I'm about actually probably after this live stream, I need to email my teacher that I'm pretty much we're done. But I did graduate high school, so you guys, I'm not like dropping out of high school. Definitely finish high school, get your diploma, do school. School's a good thing. Just I know that there is definitely a select amount of people that the school system just doesn't work for. Yeah. And for me, like being in a classroom and all that, just it wasn't a great thing. It wasn't super healthy. And I was a lot more productive like at home and doing things like the race team. And I think I've learned a lot more doing what I'm doing than if I would have went to high school all 4 years. So definitely go to school. It's a good thing. And, if college is in your interest, do it. I do think though, that as we get more and more into with technology, like college is not going to necessarily be the way. Like, I think like you can go and take an online course on Google and like be just as knowledgeable, as maybe if you did some other things, but it all depends your personal situation.
Yeah. The only thing I would mention, I stopped going to college, and the only reason that is because I have an A plan and a B plan.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require school. But if you don't know what you're doing, go to a community college.
Yes,
absolutely.
Cheaper.
Start school. Look around, figure out your passion, and then if it involves school, then that's awesome. Finish school, and if it doesn't, then just follow your dream and go for it.
Yeah, if there's anything I can encourage all 143 people watching this live stream is like take risks. Like whatever your goal is, if your goal is to be a race car driver, if your goal is to be a dentist, or if you're like whatever your goal is, because we're all different, we all have certain interests. Like just go for it. Like if you're not going for it right now, like start tomorrow, go for it, or after I end this live stream, go for it. Like
write it down. That's a great way to start.
Write it down. Make goals. Like if there's anything I can encourage you guys, it's like please go for it and take risks, because the scariest thing is 10 years down the line that you didn't take that risk and you're like, what if? Like, don't do that. So if I can encourage you guys in anything, take risks, go for it, make it happen, and start now. Start after this live stream. So Roger said, hi, Tanner. Could you give my daughter, Simone, a shout out? Yeah. Huge fan. Thank you, Simone. Appreciate that. Ryder said, my mom won't let me race. Yeah, that. I don't really have a great... sorry to hear that.
All I would say is get her to a racetrack.
Yeah, get her.
Let her smell some race fuel.
Slowly work on the convincing. Don't be like annoying about it, but definitely like show some really convincing evidence in the best way possible.
Get her to a racetrack. Let her smell some race fuel, and she's gonna go buy you a car.
Show her my YouTube videos. Something. Austin said, we have a race in Indiana. That's a good possibility. We'd love to get to Indiana. A lot of race fans in that area.
Midget week, maybe someday.
Midget week, yes, absolutely, or sprint week. Aiden said, any tips on getting sponsors? If I had to recommend how to get sponsors, I would say be like as presentable as possible, but also get used to hearing no. And like, don't let no affect you keep going. Like if you go to like, just, hypothetically, if you went to 2,000 businesses, if you got to go to 2,000 businesses and you get 4 sponsors out of that, like that's successful. That's you're going to hear, 1,900 no's, but it's part of the game.
That's all it is.
Send emails, meet people, do whatever you got to do for sure. Also wanted to just continue saying thank you to everyone that's been chilling here in the live chat. I know you guys have been asking a lot of questions. We're trying to get to all of them. And if we haven't yet answered your question, definitely make sure to keep sending it in. Zach said, Tanner, please race a 410 in Australia. Yeah, I would like we said earlier, love to get over there for sure. Mason said, what is your favorite win that you have, or your favorite track that you've been to? Favorite track that I've been to, Outlaw Karts. We always love Red Bluff. We love Big Sky Kartway. Like the biggest thing with Outlaw Karts is there's not a lot of new tracks. Like especially we've kind of ran every track on the West Coast. So there's nothing new in that aspect. I wish there was, but there are some new tracks that are coming. I know we have a new sprint car track in Idaho. So that'll be interesting. I believe we have it on the schedule to run there at least once. So that'll be cool for you guys to kind of hang out and see what that's like. A new racetrack in the Pacific Northwest, which is great. It's great to have new people that are trying to support dirt track racing in that aspect.
Leland asks, this is his first race season, I think, this year. Yeah. Any tips for him?
Any tips, man? Get a lot of seat time. Like, get as much seat time as possible. Be at the racetrack as much as you can. And maybe let's say there's a weekend like, let's say they're racing and you can't race, but you can like be at the track or something, like take every opportunity you can to, put that effort in to make it happen. Sometimes where the growth is at is observing, not being in the car, but definitely being in the car helps as much as possible. So because you got to make mistakes to become better. If you don't make mistakes, like if we were all just perfect, how do you ever get better? Like, like even that's how I look at like last night for me at Roseburg, like it sucked what happened, but guess how much better I'm going to be because of it. So that's just, that's the name of the game that we play.
If I could give you any tips, Leland, just don't get down on yourself. Have a strong mental attitude because, you're not going to be the best out of the gate. I was never the best out of the gate. I'm still not the best. But just learn every aspect of racing, not just how to drive the car, but learn the track.
Yeah.
Learning a dirt track is very important because if you have more knowledge about what's going on during a race than the guy in front of you, you're going to go around them pretty quick.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, be a smarter racer. Because the guys that are always just gassed up, that's not always the greatest way to go. Does iRacing help you get better at outlaw karts? I wouldn't say necessarily outlaw karts, but possibly sprint cars.
We touched on that in the very first podcast too.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that, and it's an interesting topic because there's so many sides to the argument on which way you could come at it. But I think no matter what, anything being behind the wheel of anything is going to help you in the end, as long as it's not creating like bad habits.
Right.
CFR said, "What Cali tracks are you going to get a Hornet to?" Man, I don't know if
Cali tracks for Hornet.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have a lot of 4-cylinders down there. I really don't think they do. The 4-cylinders are super popular in Oregon, Washington. Even when we went up to Montana, like the Montana tracks are way bigger. Like I'm talking 3/8 of a mile. That's huge. They're just ripping Hornets around there. They don't care.
One of the main things in Cali, I live in Redding, California, and I kind of joke about it how like North Carolina is the heart of NASCAR.
Yeah.
Redding, California is the heart of Hornets on asphalt. There are so many Hornets in yards around my house that just sit out there and collect rain and dust and water all year. And then they pull them out, pump the air in the tires and go rip.
It's crazy.
Shasta Speedway is one of the big Hornet tracks. If we need to get more races there.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Hornets are a lot of fun. And we're going to make it a priority to get in a Hornet before 2021 is over. I thought an interesting question that kind of bounces off the Hornet. Someone asked, if we ever go to New Zealand, we're going to be in a New Zealand super stock.
If you get me any opportunity to drive a super stock, I will wheel that deal like you've never seen before.
You might get your first career win as a car owner with Bennett behind the wheel of a New Zealand
I would
super
love
stock.
that. No, I would absolutely love it.
We were tuned in on Flow Racing to the New Zealand Super Stock Championship.
Nationals or something like that.
Something like that a couple nights ago. And man, these guys are just wheeling and dealing. They're wrecking each other. But I mean, that's what we came for. That's what we want to see. They're full contact.
Yeah,
and that's what.
At first, when I saw them, I was like, all right, I don't know what this is. And, is it good? And then I got into it and I was like, these deals are awesome. You root someone out of the way in a super stock. So to answer the question, if we go to New Zealand and you have a super stock, message me ahead of time. I'll bring my gear and we're going to get your first car owner win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Fitzy_Foresight. Can I get a shout out? Absolutely. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for tuning in. You also mentioned My Mac Life. My Mac Life, a great guy, startup YouTube channel, been making videos. I don't know how long now, but definitely check him out. I did an interview with him. Great guy from North Carolina and absolutely loves to race. So awesome to see other people on the platform. Aiden said, when is your first sprint car race? You guys have to stay tuned for that. We're still waiting for some schedules and a full schedule, but that's kind of back to earlier when I said you need to stay tuned over the next week, 7 days.
Yes. And not only that, we might be dropping some little sneak peeks of the podcast clips.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I did one of that for all the people that have it. All the channel members get exclusive content. I dropped like a 3-4 minute clip for them. Mm-hmm. It's a playlist on one of my channels. You guys will see, but we're definitely going to be bringing that out, posting stuff on TikTok, posting stuff on Instagram, because that's what's so cool about the podcast is we talk about so many different things. Like we can, share a bunch of different aspects besides just the full episode for sure. Tony asked, come to Indiana to race SmackDown. Yeah, SmackDown's a big deal. Like SmackDown in Indiana seems like it's a huge deal. So that's one of those races that's on the list of places we absolutely need to, be at least as a spectator.
Yeah. Someday I want to go race, if not watch Dirt in December at Gateway.
Oh yeah, that's another
like
big
cool
one.
Track,
yeah, that seems really cool. Like especially late models, the fan base that late models have. And it's interesting to see a whole nother form of the sport.
Yeah.
Roger dropped a $10 donation. Thank you so much. He put, cheers for giving a shout out to my daughter. You made her day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're glad we can help, man. We just appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, just people, the fact that you guys are just chilling on the live stream. It's a Sunday afternoon. We had a rough racing night last night. We're trying to bounce back a little bit, but no, man, absolutely, Roger. Anytime we can help, we're here for you.
And that's what we do it for right there.
We just the fans. The fans are what it's all about, man.
We can make you happier and enjoy the day watching racing.
That's all it's about. That's all it's about. That's what was so disappointing actually during 2020 was the fact that like there wasn't as many spectators. So like, you know, where maybe we're used to after a Skagit night, you know, people stop by, like you kind of get regulars, which is awesome. Like you get regular people you're used to seeing, and whether you have a bad or a good night, like you chit chat with them, you hear about what they're doing, and you form like literally friendships with these people that you would have never met. And so during this year, without all the benefits, you know, of having spectators and not having people at the track, it made it not as normal and definitely changed the atmosphere. But we're looking forward to hopefully some normalcy in 2021. Fitzy said, love the videos. Laney asked, how old were you when you started racing? 5 years old, and Bennett was 5 as well, right?
Yep. 5 years old.
5 years old. Jerome asked, any plans for Eldora this year? Maybe. I would like to get to Eldora, whether I was watching or if I was just, you know, behind the wheel. That'd be even better. But Eldora is a cool place.
Is the truck race at Eldora still?
I'm not sure. I need to actually check because I know.
I think they changed it.
It's at Knoxville, maybe. I don't know.
Something like that.
This whole year is just
they change everything. Yeah,
everything's going. Caleb said, did you happen to pay attention to what happened at the Outlaw Kart Super Bowl this weekend? I did not, Caleb, but I would love to hear. So drop it in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
I heard there's some big names racing there, like Brexton Bush.
Yeah, I saw Brexton was there, and it was kind of an undercover deal at first. They didn't announce, obviously, it's probably smartly they didn't announce they were going to be there.
Miller was there.
Yeah, a few others.
Carson's little brother.
Yeah, Carson's little brother was there. There's quite a few. So I'm gonna have to tune in, see if there's highlights or something. Yeah, figure it out. I
saw driver intros was pretty cool.
That was cool. They did the tent and fog. It's always awesome when racetracks, you know, really provide a great thing for all of us. Austin said, Tanner, you ever gonna race at Keller Auto in Hanford? If there's one track in California I could get to, it would be Hanford because it fits my driving style, wide and slick, and just super interesting. Gavin Whitley dropped a game over sticker, $1 or $2 donation. Thank you so much, Gavin. We really, really appreciate that. Jerome said, any plans to have your dad on a live Q&A? That's probably the next one we got to go to, I guess. Yeah. That and also the podcast will have him on. We're kind of like trying to spread it out. I don't want to just have all my family members on back to back episodes. So like Carly is going to be the first guest that we have for episode 2. Then we want to interview some people in the racing world, but also we're going to have episodes of just Bennett and I, because there's like so much to talk about that, like, you know, and personally, I actually just like those episodes too, because it, like I said, it's a completely different outlook on what we're doing. So definitely, like I said, as we've been talking about, the podcast will be up soon, January 20th.
For all the people watching right now, drop guests you'd like to see on the podcast, because we have a list of people we would like to interview, but who do you guys want to hear?
We would be interested. Put it in the live chat. A few people, you know, talking just people on the West Coast that have really, you know, impacted, you know, sprint car racing, outlaw kart racing, because outlaw karts are, you know, that's what I love. That's what I did. Oh, Jesse Enterkin from Hunt the Front just dropped a $5 donation. Jesse, awesome. Thank you so much. Mad respect to you and the Hunt the Front guys. I know how hard it is to put out content and, like, you know, be on social media. So we really, really appreciate that you're tuning into the live stream, but mad respect for all the effort you guys do to make our sport better. We appreciate that.
Maybe get Jesse.
Maybe we'll have to do it. Maybe we'll have to do a little collab, do some sort of collab, maybe on iRacing, maybe on the something. Yeah. Or if I'm ever on the East Coast, we'll get to hang out. But absolutely, like I said, mad respect to you guys. Wolf and Racing said, do some with fans. Yeah, I think that's kind of part of the plan. One thing I want to do, an idea for an episode, you guys got to let me know what you think. What if we did something where we had like some fans, but also some younger kids? Like, for example, Owen Larson was in the vlog a couple weeks ago. Owen is a big fan of the YouTube channel. What if we did like a small interview with him, and we did small interview with some of the other younger kids in the sport that are coming up? You know, I think that'd be a lot of fun, and get their perspective. And usually if you can get them at the right time where maybe, you know, they'll speak a lot, and they will actually really open up instead of being a little shy.
And that's a cool thing. A bunch of these little kids, you would think, oh, they're just getting in the car, turning the wheel. Yeah. They have so much knowledge. They know what they're doing on the track. Like, it's just incredible. They get out after the race. It didn't go their way, and they're just pissed because it means so much to them.
Like, Owen, it was crazy. Owen's 5 years old, and we were teammates at the Red Bluff Outlaws for the Burris Bullring Showdown.
Yep.
And Owen was flying. Like, he's racing against kids that were 8, 7, been racing Red Bluff for 2 years, and he's passing them.
This is his first time here, too.
He's passing them. He's being aggressive, throwing some Nerf bars. It's all part of racing. Robin's racing, and it just incredible. Yeah. So absolutely, it's awesome to see all the younger kids coming up, and we really want to highlight that in some of our future podcasts. And I saw someone asked, how long are the podcast episodes? Anywhere from our goal 40 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
We don't want to make it too long, but we definitely want to make it long enough to where it's great for a car ride. Yep. Gavin Whitley dropped another $5 donation. Thank you so much, Manny. But here's for the hosted races that you may host later. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gavin and I are going to rip some Iracing. Thank you so much, Gavin. I'll definitely get in contact with you right after this episode.
If I get home soon enough, we might pull the old 2004 setup.
Yeah, Bennett, talk about your setup real quick. You got like a what's it called?
So it's a Momo. It's like a Logitech. It's from 2004, wheel and pedals, and the wheel's great. I love it because when you turn the force feedback all the way up, you're gonna break your arm if you hit the wall too hard.
That's
and
awesome.
Then the part I don't like that much is the throttle stick. So the bad part is, and if anyone is watching this I've raced with and that happens, sitting and staging before they took the neutral out,
you might rear end someone.
Yeah, because it just takes off, and I'm not paying attention because we got like 3 minutes before the race starts, and I'm sitting in line, and it just takes off, and I hit someone. There's 2X, SR's down. I just feel bad at that point.
Done. But a funny question, Explicit, one of our channel members, and I posted this in one of my videos. I need to show all you guys. He said, "You got a car in real life?" So Bennett, talk about your car. Both of our cars kind of have issues. So I'm not a big flashy person, man. I'll drive around a lawnmower if I have to into town. I don't care. Like, I'm not, I got to have the nicest car. And so my family, when a while back before I was even born, they got this old beat up, like 1989 Chevy 4x4. I think is the exact what it is. I'm not a car person, but well, anyway, they didn't use it much, but like, it's obviously pretty beat up. It was something that, like, they purchased something and it just came with it. Like, it's one of those deals. It's it's kind of a junk deal, but that's what I drive around. Like, and I actually like it because it's something that, this sounds dumb, but like, it makes me actually like kind of want to work harder. Like, it wants me to like want to work for something better versus if I just like had a super nice car. So that might sound dumb, but I'm all for that mindset. So, we're not flashy people, man. We just, whatever we got to do to have the most money to race. Like, I don't care. Like I said, I'll drive a bicycle.
My car's pretty special. It's a 07 V6 Mustang. It has a unique feature that no one else really gets. It's an opportunity called limp mode.
Yeah.
And it goes into limp mode whenever it wants to. So you could be pulling out and we're back in neutral. We're not going nowhere. So I put it in neutral, turn it off, turn it back on, put it back in gear, and stomp the loud pedal. So I guess it's just training me how to drop from neutral to first gear. So
heck yeah. Jesse Enterkin, still in the chat. You said Momo. That's going old school.
Absolutely. Oh, it is old school, and I'll rip with it.
Isn't that what they maybe use for like NASCAR 2003? Oh my, that's crazy.
Absolutely,
that's crazy. Parker said, ever plan to run the Chili Bowl next year? Maybe I'd be pumped if. The coolest part about running Chili Bowl is being in the Chili Bowl pool. Like, seeing where you line up, like when the Outlaw Kart kids go and run like group 5, group 6, group 7, see if you can maybe, help some people out, be one of the sleeper picks. 2-time champ 64 said, ever plan on running I-96 in Michigan? Yeah. So last year, actually, before the whole pandemic deal hit, our plan was to run there was a certain deal with some people that we were talking to, but they wanted us to come run like up in some of the Great Lakes region part of the national tour. I think it was going to be like 6 or 7 races in like 2 weeks. It was going to be really, really cool. But then obviously all of that changed. Dylan Cherry said, do you plan to ever running a 410 sprint car or any other class? And I've been subscribed since 10K. Well, Dylan, thank you for sticking around through the progression of our YouTube channel. And then 410, obviously everyone wants to move up as far as they can. So we're going to try to make some stuff happen. And as far as running any other classes, I think the coolest class that we would like to run would be a midget. Like, a midget is not popular here on the West Coast, but getting in the midget, even if that was a weekly show, not necessarily even Chili Bowl, but getting out to the Midwest maybe and pulling some double duty on a night. Caleb, he was talking about the Outlaw Kart Super Bowl real quick.
Yeah.
He said there were 52 opens and they took top 6 in passing points, the pole shuffle. I ended up 4th in the pole shuffle. It was a wild race. Dominic Gordon was there. Dominic Gordon won his first open race a couple weeks ago.
Last race, yeah.
Awesome to see some of the Cali clique out there representing, but that's awesome that you guys had a great car count. I noticed that it seemed like there was a bunch of people there. Brent Butler jumped in the chat. He put, watched you and Hunt the Front religiously. Would love to race with you guys on iRacing. Absolutely, Brent. Thank you so much for dropping the $5 donation. I haven't been on as much recently, but I will be back kind of on the iRacing grind a little bit more soon. Yeah. These last couple of this last week in particular just got really busy with just a lot of things with the new year and trying to get all of our goals in place and make them happen.
Yeah, I'm finally back up into B class in dirt and asphalt. We took kind of we got black flagged a little bit for a minute there, but we're back up in the B, working our way back to A.
Absolutely. Xander said, can I get a shout out? Absolutely. Shout out to you, man, for watching all the videos.
Landon asked, come to Texas. I know for me in October, it's like Hart Texas Speedway, something like that. They run a dwarf car show and it's $1,000 to win. So I'm looking forward to maybe in October making the trip down to Texas. Do you have any plans maybe?
I know Devil's Bowl runs and there's a few other tracks. I don't know all the tracks in Texas. If you guys are from Texas, drop what dirt tracks run certain sprint cars and whatnot, but I would definitely want to get down there. I know there's a decent fan base. I know 305s are also pretty popular. That seems like a big thing, but yeah, definitely. If you're from Texas, drop what racetracks we should come to down there.
Tanner, would you race with Tony Stewart someday?
Absolutely. Tony's cool. Tony's a wheel man. If I could just be on the same track as him, like that'd be awesome to turn some laps and obviously
make our presence.
He's a veteran, man. Yeah. He rips. Kendall said, come to PA, you do just fine. Absolutely. Once we're in the area and we kind of, like I said, line up schedules, we're going to make every single effort to get to Pennsylvania because that's where sprint car racing is what it is for sure. Slade said, are you coming back to 81 Speedway? Yes, we will be back at 81 Speedway in 2021 if everything goes to plan.
Would you race a Focus Midget? And that's more local on the West Coast.
Yeah, the Focus Midget class is actually kind of incredible up here. There's like 30 to 40 of them on a weekly basis, or 20 to 40, I should say. Yeah, it's actually really cool what they've built and how many cars they really get. So one of these days, I'll probably end up getting to turn some laps in a Focus Midget, and it'd just be fun to like try something out. It'd be another car. Aiden asked an interesting question. This is actually interesting to answer. He said, what do you do with your race earnings? Well, for us, all of our race earnings go straight back into the car. So that's, I think, where most teams are at. These races really don't pay much anyway. Some nights, I guess you could technically say you broke even, but at the end of the day, without good sponsors or anything, there's no way to even come close.
I mean, didn't you? I think you mentioned maybe a while back, there's maybe one or two series. If you play your card right,
sponsors,
hit the right tracks, you could make a career out of racing them. But at the same time, you got to win each one.
Yeah, that and or maybe like a good side hustle. Like I think on the Tulsa Shootout broadcast, they said if you were to run every micro race in the month of money, which is like 4 races, and you won all 4 of them, and then that's maybe all you ran, during the year, you would technically make some money because I think, they have the micros are insane. That's one thing I wish karts had.
They're making great payouts.
They have like $12,000 twin races. They have the 20,000 to win at Sweet Springs. They got a bunch of 5 to 10,000 shows. Like 5,000 shows aren't even a big deal anymore. It seems like, where Outlaw Karts 5,000 is insane.
I think our biggest show is the KKM 30 grand if you take the back row, right?
That was the Speed 51.
That's Speed 51.
Speed 51 at Millbridge. Adam Clemens dropped a $5 donation. Adam, thank you so much for your support. We really, really appreciate it. Ryder said, Tanner Holmes, do you know Tanner English? That name's familiar. I probably do, honestly. Garrison asked, would you ever come to Iowa and race at Knoxville? Yeah, Knoxville. We talked a little earlier in the live stream. Definitely want to get there during this next year.
Viper.
Oh, Garrett, he was responding. He said, basically, you can't make money unless you're Kyle Larson. Yeah, unless you win 46 races during the season, you're probably not making money. 100%.
That's incredible what he did.
Jerome said, have you ever got your mom back in the Outlaw cart? Yeah, so our plan is to get her back. Once the track dries out a little bit out here, our plan is to get her back out.
So no Red Bluff Sports.
No Red Bluffs, not yet. Dylan dropped a $1 donation. Dylan, thank you so much for your support, man. We appreciate that. Christopher said, why did you two start to race, and when will the racing flags come out? Yeah, so maybe in a future video we're gonna do that. I started racing 2009. What about you? Probably a couple years before me.
I don't remember the specific year. I'm getting so old. But I do know the reason I got into racing is because my dad was on a truck team for Steve Park and then someone else, and he was a tire catcher. And then when he was done with that and I was of age, he came back, went to the Red Bluff Outlaws, and we've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, I think racing's one of those things. All you guys know, once you go to a racetrack for the first time, like you're stoked. You got to keep coming back. Like you're not just gonna not. I'd be interested to hear if you talk to someone that went to the races and was bored and like what's that mindset like. But Braden said you should come run micros. They're really fun. Would love to get behind the wheel of a micro. And then 25R mini stock. You've been in the chat for a while. Thank you so much, man. Do you know McKenna Hossey? And would you do an interview with her? That might be a good potential guest. Yeah. McKenna, really good with social media. That's one of the funny things I always notice with people, like who's really good at doing social media. Yeah. She's got great partners, a great team behind her. And I think she's the only female winner in Knoxville in one of the one of those stats. So, I mean, that's obviously very impressive. She's up on the wheel for sure. JB said Chili Bowl prediction. We said this earlier. I'm not going to bet against Kyle Larson, but if we had to not pick out of I would say the top 3 favorites, we call the platinum group. But if we're not going to pick Bell, we're not going to pick Larson, we're not going to pick Rico. I think we can both agree Buddy Kofoid.
Did you ever race against Buddy at Red Bluff?
I never ran against him in any of the divisions because of how we moved up, but I think we ran against each other in opens at Cyclan a little bit. And then I ran against him at our first speed week. We ran against Western Sprint Tour. He won 2 of the nights, I think.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, me and Buddy would race in box stock.
Yeah, you guys were more in a similar division for sure.
Super fast.
Dylan dropped another $2 donation. Thank you. He said, Bennett, get in the sprint car. And this is something that is another potential to make happen. So here's what we want to do. Bennett has a YouTube channel. I have it linked in the description below. Check it out. Subscribe to him because he's going to be posting dwarf car content. Yeah. We need to do obviously we collab all the time, but I'm saying a series video where so you post the vlog on your channel of me running the dwarf car, and I post my video of me running you running the sprint car. You know what I'm saying? The same night we rent the track, something. And if you guys want to make that, if you guys think we need to do that, cool. Let us know in the chat. But that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I love when we're able to get new people in the car and just turn laps.
And it's not only that; it's a whole new experience. Yeah. I would be stoked to get in the sprint car.
Just turn some laps and kind of like what Carly did. Just go out there and, work on getting a little bit better. And hopefully the track conditions are better. Like my first time in the sprint car was terrible track conditions. So if anything better than that, you'll be good.
If I set a track record in hot laps, maybe I can go run a night in a race.
Heck yeah. Mason said, would you race against Christopher Bell? I've never ran against Bell before, mainly because he was more of a micro guy. I don't think he's ever ran karts, but one of these days, I'm sure.
That would be, to mention that would be cool maybe to get back to Millbridge for one of their, I think it's a Wednesday night show and they run the micros.
Oh yeah.
Micros at Millbridge seem pretty cool. And they just ran midgets for an exhibition race or something.
Which was exciting. The GoPros were very exciting.
Not bad racing, but the micro racing at Millbridge seems pretty fun.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting and up on the wheel. Roger asked Tanner, if you come to Australia, what tracks would you run? So if we came to Australia or New Zealand, starting off with Australia, the tracks that I know are popular, but they're so spread out. I know Paris. It's not Paris. It's Perth. Sorry, I messed that one up. Perth is very popular. That might be a potential. Archerfield. I don't know the exact name or how to pronounce it, but where they run the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, which is, I think it's the Premier, maybe it's the Premier Speedway, but there's quite a few of them. I'm not as familiar with the Australian tracks. I know, for example, New Zealand tracks that we would love to get to and potentially could be Bay Park and then Western Springs. Those are very popular up north. And then down south, we would love to get to, let's see, I think Rapuna is one of the names of the tracks. I think there's Cromwell. There's quite a few Beachlands. I was, a few of the tracks that some of the sprint cars run at, some of the New Zealand super stock guys run at, but there's quite a few tracks on the South Island and we would love to get to all of them and even up north. So like I said, you'll have to stay tuned and see if we can make something happen to get over there.
Kaya Ramos said, would you race against Rico? And we've both had the opportunity to race against Rico.
Yeah, ran against Rico in karts, man. Funny story. One of the first times we ran Millbridge, he was absolutely beating down the fence. Rico's really good at running a curve. Yeah. And I'm talking wide open. My mom was sitting next to me, grabbing my arm, thinking this guy's going to flip every time. But he never lifted, so he never had any issues. But
maybe a potential guest someday.
Yes.
On the podcast.
Would love to talk to Rico. Fortunate enough, actually, talked to him quite a few times in real life as he's come to Red Bluff and hung out at QRC a little bit for sure. Aiden said, would you love to get in a late model? Yeah, late models are cool. Late models got a huge fan base, bigger than sprint cars, I would say. I think they're just so popular and the late model fans love their late model guys. So
Viper Games asked you, would you race a banger in UK. And I think I haven't looked into UK racing too much, but there's a YouTube channel called Hustling the High Side that I communicate with a little bit on TikTok. And the UK, I think, is starting.
They're starting to get something together.
Starting to get racing more popular. And I don't know too much about it, and I'd love to learn about it too. But
yeah, definitely.
If I have an opportunity to race,
if you guys are from the UK, let us know, man. We'd love to come over there. I think one guy I was communicating with on social media was from the Netherlands, and he said, "Hey, if you want to come over, we'll make it happen." So heck, you never know. Awesome. You never know. Aiden said, "Have a great day. Thank you, Braden. Can I get a shout out?" Absolutely. Shout out to you, Braden. Aiden, would you try sprint cars on asphalt? Yeah, sprint cars on asphalt are kind of popular. I think in Idaho, like up north, they have I think it's called King of the Wing. So for sure, that would be something we would be interested in. You know, if everything happened right.
We Chef Speedway, the only race they ran, we saw the BCRA midgets on asphalt. And midgets on asphalt are pretty cool. They're pretty squirrely and they look pretty cool.
I heard midgets on asphalt are like some of the most fun things you can run.
They look pretty dicey.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of these days we'll get a chance to do all that fun stuff. Oh, Mason said, "Would you try to race a sprint car in the snow?" Yeah, that would be a heck of a YouTube video.
Studs on the tires, ripping the ice.
You never know.
We just watched the vintage snowmobile.
Yeah, on
Nationals.
We were watching Flo on our way to Roseburg, and dude, these guys were throwing slide jobs on snowmobiles.
Snowmobiles, yeah.
That is something that we got to do one day.
Race it all.
Kaylin asked, "What prepares you for getting on the track, or do you have any pre-race rituals?" Biggest thing I do is I always like the underclothes you wear in the suit, like kind of like it comes up on your ankle. Like I always try to make sure I put it over my shoe and, you know, tighten my laces and my shoe and everything. So that's one of the main things. And then also I pull my gloves up like right before we come to green.
Yep.
And I click my steering wheel. I need to not do that, but it's hard to break the habit. It's like, you know, you just, it's hard to break the habit for sure. Max said, "Any advice getting into Outlaw carts?" Biggest advice was, you know, definitely work on figuring out how to set them up. They're unusual, but, you know, reach out to all your resources. If you have questions, like send us messages. We'd be happy to help. You know, if it happens at the right time, we try to respond to everyone. Obviously we do get a decent amount of messages, but if you have questions, reach out, call QRC. Like QRC is there to help out their customers and help out and give great customer service. And also QRC is putting together a YouTube series, which is mostly done on how to build an Outlaw cart. So like you're not in the dark on how do I put this thing together? Like they specifically step by step what tools you need to get it race ready. So that's awesome. That's super exciting that they're doing that.
One of the cool parts about Outlaw Cart as a series as a whole is a lot of friendly people.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid to go around the pits. Look at some of your top guys around the track.
It's better to communicate.
This is my name. I saw you racing great, and I guarantee you they're gonna be no problem telling you.
Definitely communicate and introduce yourself. Try not to walk around and kind of be silent because racers, you know how racers are. It's kind of weird if you think someone's just looking at your car, but if you come up and say, "Hey, look, I'm new. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not where I want to be, but I want to get faster. Can you help me?" You know, I think a lot of people in the Outlaw Cart community would love to help you out for sure. Xander said, "Can you give my brother Jet a shout out?" Absolutely. Shout out to you, Jet. Jerome said, "Have you and Bennett raced against each other in carts?" We have plenty of times. And that's one of the big topics we're going to talk about on our show is just, you know, some of our experiences racing together or being at the track on the same nights and like rooting for each other and helping each other out. That's always fun.
That's kind of a weird thing too. It's comfortable to start next to Tanner in a race for sure, because you know you're not going to get like right rear or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's way more nerve-wracking because you don't want to do something that messes him up.
Yeah, we're buddies off the track, but also like on the track, you don't really change how you just you race how you would race anybody else, but there's like the little extra respect, like, hey, like let's not wad each other.
Right.
But we have some funny stories.
We've got some pretty close finishes.
We have some funny stories regarding all that.
Oh, if it's rental carts, I'm gonna right rear the hell out of Tanner.
If it's yard carts or if it's any local thing, we might have some junk parts. Aiden Gatewood just joined as a channel member. Aiden, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. It's awesome. Hopefully you enjoy all the exclusive content. It's so much fun. That was just another venture I just recently started, like keeping me busy, man. I got a busy schedule. I love every minute of it and love what we do here.
It's kind of cool to make those videos because they're a little more personal, maybe.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like, obviously on the YouTube channel, as a creator, you try to like put out stuff that people really, really like. And like, if it's something that people don't like, sometimes you scrap it, which isn't always the way to go. Like it should be more about how much I've kind of gotten to the point, like I just post things that I really like love. If I love this piece, whether it's going to get a zillion views or if if only 3 people tune in, it is what it is. Like I like it. So, but it's really fun to make those and show some different aspects of my life that I don't necessarily put always on the YouTube channel. Skyview said, what's your I rating? This is actually a funny question because I used to take it seriously. I used to have 6,500 I rating. At one point, I was the 42nd highest I rating in dirt racing.
Yeah.
Which that's nothing to brag about, really. But I used to take it pretty serious. Then I got a little careless and I was like, you know what? Like, let's just go out there and race. And if I'm either going to win it or I'm going to wear it, like wreck myself just because, like, why not just win every race? And I ended up dropping to like probably 3,400 I rating, I think.
I don't even know what mine is. I just go to win the race.
I've lost a lot.
I'm here to take names, win races.
Tyler Hill also joined as a channel member. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, if you can confirm, I think that's my uncle. That's my uncle from here in Southern Oregon. I just didn't make sure not someone with the same name, but thank you, Tyler. Awesome. Thank you for joining as a part of the team. Aiden Green said, have you ever gotten hurt badly in a wreck? I've had times where I was uncomfortable after a wreck, but never like seriously injured, carried me off on a stretcher to the hospital, but there's definitely plenty of times where, things are uncomfortable and whatnot.
The closest I've ever been to badly hurt is, I hopped someone's right rear at Red Bluff, and usually in a flip, your wing catches you. Well, I hopped it and like barrel rolled sideways. And when I landed, it was sideways.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have full containment on the left, but the right, I had the headrest.
Yeah.
Damn near snapped my neck. And when I got out of the car after the race, I was fine. I was like, no, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. Next day, I was so stiff. It was horrible.
Absolutely. Tyler said, yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Love you, bro. Appreciate it. Ash said, Tanner, have you ever tried Outlaw Kart rental services in PA? No, we haven't, but we definitely need to look into Outlaw Kart scene in PA. I heard it's growing, which is good. I heard some dealers are kind of coming into the scene. So hopefully Outlaw Karts continue to expand. It's awesome to see all that.
Talking about rental services, if you want to make the trip out to Red Bluff, there's a couple teams you could get a hold of to rent cars.
And heck, I'm even building my cart back up. Like I'd be willing to, cut someone a heck of a deal, to just have.
I'll go set it up for you.
Have Bennett on the wrenches. That'd be fun. No, we can definitely make that happen if you guys are serious, actually interested in doing that. Someone said, can't wait till you get to 100K. That was from Braden. Braden, I'm just telling you, if I ever get to 100K, there's a good chance I might just quit YouTube because that's my end goal. No, but we wouldn't just quit, but like
everything would get 10 times better.
Seriously, if I ever did, I mean, I know it's just a number, because like in our mind, man, we just, like I said, we like what we do so much, like the numbers and everything. Like I said, there could be 2 people watching this live stream and it doesn't matter. But definitely that'd be cool because that's like, I feel like for a racing channel, like we're so niche, there's only so many people that love dirt track racing. This isn't like a cooking channel or gardening or, this is something, it's hard to convince people to like racing because it's just, it's so small and unique. You
gotta have a passion for it for sure.
Absolutely. Gavin said, would you ever race a late model if you had the chance? 100% yes, would do that. Lance said, trying out a big block modified. That's another 100% yes. We would love to try that out. Maxie said, is there any rental carts in Montana? I don't think so.
There's any tracks anymore?
I don't know. That's a scary thing with, what the outlaw kart scene is really starting to look like up there. But hopefully it gets better and better for sure. I think it will. I think the right people will come into place. Maybe some people that have some backing already that can make a track happen or something. It would be really, really cool. Christopher said, would you ever try an asphalt go-kart? Yeah, we've done a little bit of asphalt stuff. Bennett in particular has done a lot more than I have. But
yeah, I got an opportunity to hot lap a late model for Gary Pizora. Yeah. The dwarf car, surprisingly enough, takes a little work to do, but you can fix them up and you can convert them to race on asphalt.
Yeah.
And we have raced the Sunrise Series, which was an outlaw kart.
1,200 laps.
Outlaw kart converted to asphalt, and you're running 55s on them. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a different aspect of racing for sure. And like trying the asphalt, what was so unique about it for me was just how the cars drive. Even though it was an outlaw kart on asphalt, but like, you're not throwing it in there. You're using the brakes completely different. Yeah. You're rolling a lot more. It's more about being smooth than just on the gas. So it's an incredible experience that if you have the opportunity, definitely take it. Xander said, would you ever race in South Dakota? Yeah, I think Huset's is in South Dakota. That's a track that's worth going to for sure.
Yeah.
Also Rapid City, I believe it's called.
Rapid City, yeah.
That's on the ASCS Frontier Region schedule. So maybe potentially you'll see us there. Caleb said, I love your channel. Watch your videos every day. So can I have a shout out? Absolutely, Caleb. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate all the fan support. It's awesome to have you guys tune in to our little operation we got.
Good question here. Aiden Green said, what websites should I go to get a used Outlaw cart? For used Outlaw carts, Facebook is great. If you go to like a used Outlaw carts and parts classified, there's a ton of members there. But if you want to go new, QRC, factory QRC online is the way to go.
Yeah, QRCcarts.com. I know a lot of you guys are younger, so like maybe if your parents have Facebook, talk to them about that. But used Outlaw cart parts classified. I mean, I post stuff on there all the time. I know you post stuff on there. Everyone really uses it. It's like a reliable source for good stuff. You're not going to get like scammed or something crazy.
Yeah.
But Adam said people like racing or they are just wrong. Absolutely, Adam. Racing's what we're here for. Cameron said you should wrap your Outlaw cart or sprint car with all your subs names if you hit 100K. That'd be hard to do, but maybe we'll do something along that.
I was thinking maybe for 100K, you put the play button behind the number.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah. That would be like very, a
tribute car,
very awesome. We had someone drop some names from Texas. They have a Kendall Speedway Park in Texas. That's a track. Would you race street stocks? Yeah, street stocks seem to be pretty exciting as well. Kind of along the lines of the 4-cylinders.
Yeah. I don't know. Dirt street stocks single, only a driver, right?
Yeah.
Asphalt street stocks, though, on the other hand, you have a passenger, and I think that would be cool if we went to like some of the bigger races, like maybe down Madera or something.
Yeah.
And we ran
try those out
together in one. That'd be cool.
For sure. Heck, who would be driving? You drive or I drive?
Or just trade off.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I'll throw something out the window while you're driving.
Yeah. Max said, from what I heard, Electric City Speedway is thinking about adding an Outlaw kart track. That'd be cool. Electric's an awesome track. We'll be back there this next year. Nick Petruzzi said, what's up, guys? Hey, Nick, how you doing today? Hopefully your guys' cars are all coming together for Arizona. That'd be awesome to hear about. Colby said, when Idaho gets a track, would you come and race and how often? Yeah, I would definitely try to make the trip up to Idaho. I know Blue Valor, a track that's the new track that just got put in Boise. We will be there this year. We're going to try that place out. Pretty neat for sure. You should race 105 Speedway in Cleveland, Texas. That's another cool track. We need to get down there.
We always mention like our favorite 410 drivers or something. What's your favorite Australian driver?
Oh, that's a good one. We were just watching the other night, Jock Goodyear. He was pretty cool to watch. Yeah. He was racing. I think he was on the eastern side of Australia. If I had to pick a favorite, though, that's tough. That's really tough. I'm a big James McFadden. I mean, I know he's it's hard to say what side he's on because he races a lot of, he races over there and he races here. But I'm just a big James McFadden fan, so that's who I'm going to go with. But there's quite a few local, or I guess you could say, people from that country there's so many cool guys to really watch. But I'm a huge James McFadden guy. Love watching him wheel race cars. Nick said Justin Sanders in the 121 for Arizona. Awesome to hear that, Nick. We're looking forward to seeing how he does. Ninja said, if you ever come to PA Outlaw Kart Action Track, US and Path Valley, sprint cars, Port Royal, Sillins Grove, Lincoln, Williams Grove, awesome. That's really, really neat. A lot of great tracks in PA. Let's see what we got here. Gavin Whitley said you should make a race on iRacing at 5-year time. So that's, okay. We might do that for sure. Coming up here soon. Jet said, would you race I-90? Yeah, let me know where I-90's at. I'm kind of blanking, but I've heard of I-90 before. Christopher Clark also said it's not popping up. I can see on the YouTube chat, but he said, could I have a shout out? Absolutely. Christopher, thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream.
Someone said, would you get Haley Deegan on the podcast?
Yeah, we would like to. There's so many guests.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
There's so many guests we would love to get on, and so many people that have interesting takes on racing and why they race and their stories. So that's the whole point of what we're going for. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that, and that's going to be a huge thing as we try to get more and more guests on.
Yeah,
definitely. If you guys have a few more questions, send them in. We're going to be ending this live stream here in just a little bit, but it's been fun to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely stay tuned tomorrow at 3:30. I know it's Chili Bowl, but I'm going to have Roseburg's vlog, which, like I said, should be fun to hear that different aspects of the night, because even though we were chasing everything around, you really get to hear like in depth about what goes on and what it's like to be on a race team, I guess,
Just another mention. We mentioned this earlier in the podcast. If you have merchandise, if you sell hats, shirts, sweatshirts, whatever it is, and you want Tanner and I to wear it on the podcast, or, I'll rep it on camera, off camera. We want your merch.
We'll wear it to the gas station, In-N-Out Burger, wherever. We don't care.
But if you do have that and you want to send it to us, link in the description.
Yeah,
there's
everything's down below. It says what sizes we are, where to send it, and all that good stuff down there. Check it out.
Yeah.
So then we can wear all your stuff. We would love to rep it. Wolf and Racing says, have you ever won a flag to flag real race? No, I don't think I've had many races go flag to flag, but those are always cool. It's always awesome to see a flag to flag race because heck, like even Roseburg last night, we probably went almost 15.
You won one.
Oh, the
3-hour enduro.
Yeah, the 3-hour enduro, because that is technically flag to flag.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, for sure. Always awesome to see minimal yellows. The whole, like Red Bluff, for example, they get so many yellows sometimes. It's really hard to get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
But once we actually just get going and racing, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back. There was a red flag.
Oh.
Because you flipped it.
Oh. Yeah, shoot.
We're close.
Sore subject. Close. Almost destroyed the car 3 laps into the run, but good thing we were able to bounce back for the win. Otherwise, I might have got fired after that. Would you race in Canada? Yeah, I heard they have a pretty cool outlaw kart track in Ontario. So that's worth checking out for us in the future.
They have a pretty big super late model show for Asphalt.
Oh,
in Canada.
They do. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's way up north.
Absolutely. Dan says, hi, Tanner. Hey, what's up, Dan? Thanks. Kate said, thanks for all the hard work. Love all the vids. Kate, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that. Jacob said, can you come to Screven Motor Complex in February? Let us know where that location is. I've never heard of that track, but be interesting to hear where that's at. Xander said, my grandpa races late models and street stocks. That's very neat to hear. Mm-hmm. Would you ever race at Tri-State in Indiana? Tri-State, I believe that's Hobstadt also as well. Similar name. That place is unique. It's like weird. The dirt, it's like it's always slimy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of upset winners too, like the Outlaws. They had an upset winner this last year. There's always locals that do really well there just because of the racetrack. So that's crazy.
There's a mention about our Chili Bowl picks again, and we've talked about those like Buddy and
Buddy, Larson. I mean, there's so many. Anybody in a KKM car is going to be worth watching. Clausen, Marshall, all the super teams, are going to be incredible.
If you want to watch Chili Bowl, Flow Racing's the way to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. I put that down in the description because I figured some people, if you guys don't know where to watch Chili Bowl, obviously it's something you have to buy, but you get it for the whole year. Flow Racing, they do everything. They pretty much
you get the All-Star Series.
Pretty much there's like 1,200 races you get for $150, which is an awesome it's an awesome package. Instead of now paying for all these different services, Flow pretty much is just taken over and provides great coverage as well as like extra videos. Like they do exclusive stuff. So like I said, I put that link at the top of the description if you want to watch Chili Bowl. And then also what's great about that, if you have Flow, you're going to be able to watch a bunch of races that I'm going to be at in 2021 and Bennett. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see Bennett race on Wednesday nights, me race on Saturdays, I mean, you're going to get action all over the week.
Yeah, go check it out.
Absolutely. Let's see. Who's a better driver, you or Carly? Well,
Sparks are flying.
Yeah, sparks are flying. That's our joke. Last night we definitely had we had to race against each other at Roseburg, and Carly, I need to watch the video back, but she either spun out in front of me or she got hooked. I'm not sure, but racing against your sibling is definitely something that's interesting. I'm Carly's biggest fan, but
we talk about that in the second podcast too.
Don't get me wrong, it is frustrating when like things don't, you race against them as a different competitor. But definitely there's a lot of mutual respect there. So I want Carly to succeed, and I hope she wants me to succeed as well.
Yeah.
For sure. CFR says, do you want stickers or just shirts? Whatever you got. Like everything you got. Send us stickers, koozies, hats. Like if you have water bottles, like whatever. I'm not saying you have to send all of it, but like anything you got, just pick something and we would love to rep it. Jet said, Hartford, South Dakota. That's something to definitely put on our list for sure. Dan says, tell everybody I'm on my way to Chili Bowl. I'm racing. Well, Dan, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
What's your prelim night? Put it in the chat. We can all root you on. Jackson said, any plans for racing PA this year? Possibly, we'll have to see once schedules continue to come out, but that's definitely a place we would love to get to. 25R mini stock. Anyway, I have to go. Thank you, Tanner, for communicating with your fans, being so loyal. 25R mini stock, man. Thank you for being loyal to us. That's what we appreciate, man. I'm just here to make some good content. Haley said, can I have a shout out? Absolutely, Haley. Thank you for tuning in. Cody said, are you going to race in Texas? That's a possibility. Definitely some kart stuff in Texas. I know we touched on sprint cars, but they have Cam Cartway. And then there's a lot of tracks that are right there in the area. I don't know all of them, but I've done a few interviews with some people.
Yeah, I'll be there in October, hopefully.
Yeah.
To race the door.
So we'll all be hopefully in the area. And then Jerome said, do you pit for Bennett any? I haven't got the chance to yet. Bennett's been mainly pitting for me, but hopefully we're going to pit for each other when we go to, races where he's running the dwarf car. I'm going to be running the sprint car. Hopefully Speed Week, the dwarf cars and the sprint cars run together as they have in the past. So hopefully that doesn't change. And then we can, that would be a pretty wild week.
Absolutely.
Haley said, thank you. No problem, Haley. We appreciate you tuning in. Joanne said, are you going to race in North Dakota? I would like to get to River Cities. I'm pretty sure that's in North Dakota. That would be really, really fun.
Cameron asked, what tire compound do you use at Red Bluff? And
we can't really give all that away, but no.
All I can say is it changes throughout the night.
Yeah, it does. Pretty much the easiest way to put it. Most guys at Red Bluff are starting out with soft tires and they're going to harder compounds depending on track state, just like we would do anywhere, just like we did at Roseburg last night, just like we would do at Cycland in a way, but they have a tire rule. So all of that pretty much is just how it is. Nathan said black and lime green or gray, bright orange shirt. Oh, if you're asking, send us what surprise us. Maybe surprise us, but also maybe if you have two different color shirts, send Bennett one and send I one. So then it's different or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Like we said, all merch. I love it.
We don't care. Like it could be pink. It could be purple. We'll
racing shirts are the best.
Yeah. I'll rep it when I go to In-N-Out during the week. Let's see. Joanne said when, what was your, North Dakota? Oh, I'm not sure yet, but that's a place. River Cities would be a fun track to get to. There's a bunch of tracks up there. Like I said, it just has to all fit.
Yeah.
We would love to go to every place we could throughout the United States. It's hard. Obviously, we're from Southern Oregon, so we're a long drive away from everywhere, but we're willing to make it happen. It just all depends on schedules and when we can hit the most amount of races for the time that we're, spending on the road. So that's the main part about it for sure.
Make sure you're watching the social medias because with the way the year went last year, it's kind of the same this year. Races kind of pop up. And Tanner might be like, hey, we're heading out. We're going to be there in a week. So
absolutely. That's exactly how it goes. Wolf and Racing says, how much is it to make merchandise? This is a good question. So, depending on who you go through, it just depends, but it all depends on how much you order. So if you order a lot of t-shirts, you can get them at a cheaper rate. But if you only order like 20 shirts, they're obviously going to cost a lot more. So that's just something you have to figure out with your local dealer that you would get your t-shirts from. Blue said, future NASCAR. Now, I think we can both agree NASCAR is like everyone's dream. And I'm not saying I would turn down a NASCAR thing. I think NASCAR would be incredible, but I feel like there's some more fun ways to do racing than maybe necessarily being a NASCAR, especially with where it's at now. Not that it's a bad thing, but like the glory days of NASCAR, I kind of feel like are long gone. Obviously, it's not.
I think what we're in and what we're watching right now is a transitional period.
Yeah, for sure.
Where
I think it could get better.
We don't know what's best necessarily for the sport because everyone has their takes on what needs to happen or what doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
So I think we just kind of write it out and
see.
I think it's a couple years for sure if I even get the opportunity to get in there. So we'll see where it's
obviously at. The whole NASCAR deal. We're already both too old to probably, obviously just because like in Asphalt, you have to start at such a young age. And if you're not in a certain spot, you're pretty much,
the only way you're going to get in there is if you got the money to cut a team a check. Someday I might be there, but we'll see.
If we invest in the right company or something, you might see us have our own team. Xander said, can you do a giveaway? We will be doing a giveaway soon. Like I said, send in your last minute questions as we wrap up this Q&A. We appreciate everyone that tuned in. We appreciate everyone that donated, became channel members. All that stuff helps us go racing.
Would you race Ocean Speedway in Watsonville?
Yeah, Watsonville looks fun. What's nice there is actually have some family close to Watsonville. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone.
There you go.
That's where my mom is actually from, down in that area. Tyler said, if you could either do USAC, Woo, or All-Stars, what would you do? I would say probably the main thing that I would do would be World of Outlaws. It'd be awesome to do World of Outlaws for sure.
One of the questions that we just had here, when's the first podcast? January 20th.
Yeah, January 20th. That's when we'll be dropping at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Definitely tune in. And that's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's a different form of content that we're creating aside from the
so
vlogs.
Much fun to shoot.
Oh my, we've had a blast. We've had an absolute blast. Wolf and Racing says slide job shootout on Iracing. I might be able to run that. I think someone messaged me, but it's a race. Maybe we'll both try to compete for sure. So that's going to kind of wrap all of this up. CFR said my home track is Ocean. That's awesome.
Yeah. See you down there.
Like I said, last minute questions. Tom asked Australian plans. We would love to go to Australia. I think there's a better chance we might end up in New Zealand over Australia. Just few guys I've been talking to, but we'll keep everyone updated. If there's ever a chance, we'll be heading down under.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, man, I think that's really it. thank you guys for tuning in. We've been live here for an hour and a half. Bennett, thank you for, helping me out here with this today. And like I said, definitely make sure to check out all of our social medias. Bennett's on TikTok. You're always creating TikToks. So you guys need to follow him. What's your at?
Bennett_Gooch. And then my YouTube is Bennett_Lee. Right.
Yeah. So definitely make sure to go check Bennett out. He's going to be producing a ton of content as well. And we're just going to be living the dream, man. So no matter what happens,
keep on racing.
And that's, I guess, my last minute encouragement to you guys. Like I said earlier, if there's something you want to complete going into 2021, make this the best year of your life. Work hard, make it happen, and just go for it. Take risks. So we're going to be taking plenty of risks this year, and we're going to be, having a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys all in the next one. Let me know real quick if you guys want to see some more live streams. I'll continue to read the live chat, but I think I have a plan to go live next week. Again for a certain situation, like I said, I'll talk about here in the next coming.
Lots of news to come.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you guys all in the next one. We're going to sign off. This was another good opportunity for you guys to get a vibe also of what the podcast is going to be like with all of our fancy gear. And we'll be back in the studio here in a couple weeks as well, continuing producing stuff as they come out. So we're going to sign off. Thank you guys so much. That's going to end this live stream.